Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel Reviewed, where we talk about all things television and film from today and yesteryear. So I wanted to come on here and give my thoughts on the recent episode of The Shy. And I have to say, so far, this has been the best episode that we have had. I mean, we're only 4 episodes in, and this is the final season, but this episode was very good to me. Okay. Now, it starts off with Tiff and Nook, of course. Nuck is feeling away because Tiff has not said to him that she loves him back. And he feels like if a man tells you that he loves you, you should reciprocate and say those things back to him. And Tiff was like, I don't believe in that. That's not exactly what I'm feeling. She says that in so many words. And of course, Nuck is not here for it.
When a man tells you he loves you, you're supposed to say that shit back.
I don't believe in that.
And what that mean?
I have to mean it.
So you don't love me?
I don't know.
Bakari. He is doing exactly what I said he should not do, and he is pushing Reggie's product through Smokies. Like he is getting rid of those pills, and I'm wondering how this is going to turn out if Emmett finds out that this is what he's doing. Like you cannot be using a legitimate business to do dirt, and that's exactly what Bakari is doing. He wants that quick cash, honey. And I'm gonna tell you what I was not feeling. I was not feeling the fact that he sold Papa some pills. Like I understand that Papa is going through whatever it is that he is going through. However, that is your boy. Why are you giving him something that you know could potentially have him hooked? Like I'm not with that. I didn't like that at all. So, unable to pick up his feelings, honey, Nuck is sitting back texting Tiff because he wanted to talk about what happened earlier. Like, he cannot get over the fact that she did not tell him that she loved him. So, one of his goons walk up to him and let him know, hey, I heard your boy Bakari is working for Reg. And so, Reg, old bodyguard, walks up and he was like, we should just pop both of them. You know what I'm saying? And the other guy's like, nah, we don't need that type of attention. And this is what I mean by the streets be talking. So that confirmed what I had a question about on last week's episode when I was like, how did Reg just pull up on Bakari and all of a sudden hand him some stuff to get rid of? Because he knew that Bakari no longer worked for Nuck. And like the guy said, streets talk. And so that's how the news travel. But Nuck is definitely not here for Bakari working for Reg. So Shy goes to see Nora, and he is just checking in on her, making sure she's good. And while they're having a conversation, he kind of makes it known that he and Patience are seeing each other. And Nora's like, dude, like you just got out of jail. How you already booed up with somebody? Like y'all dudes be moving so fast. And Sean, he is just like, girl, it ain't nothing you can say to me when you basically almost sold me down the river. Like you was literally about to let me rot in jail because you didn't want to tell the truth about where I was. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, he is just making sure that she watches her back. He is also trying to get information from her about who the person was that gave her the money. But, her lips are sealed and she is not talking when it comes to who paid her to lie and say that Shad was not with her that night.
Y'all together?
We giving it a try. Now that I'm out.
Wow.
Oh, I know you ain't judging.
Then move on quick.
Yeah, women fold for money.
Money is tight.
Money's always tight. But just be careful, okay?
What's that supposed to mean?
Emmett tells his dad that he is ready to propose to Keisha, do things the right way this time. And, his dad is excited about it. And, they also have a somber moment because he tells Emmett, I wish your mom was here to see this, like you're becoming a man, you know what I'm saying? Like you're manning up. And then we also get to see Keisha have a conversation with Riley where she lets her know that she is thinking about proposing to Emmett. And, Riley is very encouraging. She's like, girl, it's a different time, honey. Do what you feel. So Keisha is kind of excited about it. We also got to see, Emmett and Keisha meet up with the social worker with Devontae, and Devontae seems to be doing better. And the lady, she was just like, you guys seem to be doing a good job. You're just doing the best that you can. But I really like the fact that both Emmett and Keisha are on the same page, when it comes to their family and them both wanting to get married. So I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out.
What?
What you mean, what? Where my money?
That's why you picking me up?
You think we friends, nigga?
Honey, one thing's for certain, two things for sure. Bakari ain't scared of nobody. The way he was looking at Reg, like, dude, what you want? Like, get up off me. Honey, he ain't scared of nobody. And Reg kind of peeps that. I think Reg has taken a liking to Bakari. He ain't gonna let him know. But throughout the episode, we kind of got to see that Reg, he ain't gonna say that he respect Bakari, but we got to see him kind of be like, okay, this little dude, he ain't scared of me. Early in the episode, Reggie was having a conversation with that guy, I guess Rashid, whatever, who is grimy as all get up. Like, I don't like him. I thought he was an undercover cop, honey. He's just trash, okay? Anyway, he's jealous of Bakari. And Reg's just like, you're just jealous of him because he can move product better than you and he younger than you. But back to the whole situation with Bakari, pushing Reg's product through Smokies. So Reg pull up on Bakari. He was like, dude, I know you ain't got your car back that fast. So, what's up? So Bakari, he sold everything and he gives the money to Reg and Reg takes the money and Bakari was like, where my cut? You owe me. And Reg was like, dude, this was my product. And Bakari was like, I don't care. You gonna run me my money, basically. And Reg kind of smirked and he was, laughed a little bit and he gave Bakari his money along with some more product. And he also told Bakari, the roll of money he gave him, he was like, this is in advance. So you need to make sure that you sell all my stuff. If you don't, I want my money back. And Bakari was like, yeah, whatever, I got you. So he walks off. And again, like I said, I don't think Reg would say it, but he sees that Bakari ain't no punk, basically. Like, this ain't somebody that he just gonna be able to run over. Unfortunately for Bakari, I don't think that he understands the type of person that he really dealing with. So the guys have a meeting, they meet up at the barbershop and they're just talking. Vic and Shaw go a little bit into the whole situation with what happened with Alicia. They was like, why did y'all move the body? And Shaw was like, that just wasn't a body to me. That was the woman I was in love with, regardless of where we were, that was somebody that I love. So, that's why he felt like he had to move the body. So, they get over to Bakari where they start talking about Nuck. And Bakari was like, I don't work for him no more. And so Papa ends up giving Bakari this look like, yeah, whatever. And so when he does that, Emmett is like, what you looking at him like that for? It was Emmett or Vic that said something to Papa as to why he was looking at Bakari like that. But nonetheless, Papa was sitting there, honey, looking like he was higher than Mary Papa's umbrella. Like he was kind of spaced out because he was very chill, very quiet. And even Vic said something to him. He was like, you ain't got nothing you want to share with the group. And Papa was like, nah, I'm good. And, he was just there like he was spaced out. And like I said, I understand that Papa, he is on a path right now and he does not necessarily understand the direction in which he's going in. But I don't like the fact that they have him going down this whole substance use road. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but I don't like it. Like, all these kids on here be getting high, all of them smoking. It's just like, come on. I really don't, and I don't like the fact that they got Papa popping pills. Like, that's not cool at all. And like I said, I don't like the fact that he got them from someone he considers a friend. Like, it's just crazy to me. So after they have the meeting at the barbershop, Jake, Papa, and Bakari, they, meet up and they start talking. And Papa, he asked Bakari, he was like, if you ain't get them pills or whatever from Nuck, who did you get them from? And Jake was like, what, Papa, you doing pills now? And Papa's like, from time to time, whatever. And so Bakari was like, I don't work for Nuck no more. And it was like, who you working for? And so Bakari says, Reg. And Jake was like, you working for my brother? He was like, dude, you must be ready to get up out of here if you working for my brother. Like, you need to watch your back. And so Bakari, he was just like, y'all don't ever want to leave the shot, like, just leave, get up out of here. And Jake was like, nah, like, this is it for me. And Papa was like, I don't know. He was just like, it's two type of people in the world. It's the people who want more and go after it, and there's people who just satisfied with what they have. And Jake was like, can't you be somewhere in between? Like, can't you be both of those things at the same time? And Pop was like, he wasn't sure. So I like the fact that Bakari is thinking about getting up out of the shy. My thing is this, because I was so paranoid, last season and the season before that, like, oh my God, Nuck is going to pop Bakari. Now that Bakari is working for Reg, I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. It's like he's such a smart kid. We see what Bakari is capable of, but he want that fast money. He's so concerned about what he wants and getting money quick instead of just making smart decisions. And I do not like the fact that they don't have the professor. That okay, so far we have not seen the professor. I don't understand where he went. Like, I don't like the fact that we have not seen him have any type of conversations or anything like that with Bakari, especially since the book came out. Like, it's like he just disappeared. I don't like that. So maybe we'll get to see the professor pop up, and hopefully it's not because Bakari got popped. Okay. So Bakari shows up late to work, and the manager of Smokey, she clocked him. She was like, "Where you been? What's going on?" He was like, "I had some other stuff I had to tend to." She was like, "What other stuff you got going on?" He was like, "Just stuff." And she was like, "All right." She was like, "You need to be careful out there." She basically lets him know. She said, "I used to be in the same situation she was in. I used to run the streets." And Bakari was like, "Well, what made you change?" She was like, "When I went to jail. Like, getting locked up changed her whole perspective on things." And she is letting Bakari know, you need to, slow your roll and just be mindful of what you're doing. So we also get to see in the episode where Lene comes up to Smokey. She's looking for Bakari. And, the manager, she walks over to her. She was like, "Hey, you waiting on the order?" And she was like, "No, I'm looking for Bakari." And she lets her know. She was like, "Oh, he's not here." And Lene was like, "Oh, he's not." She was like, "Nah." And she tells Lene, she said, "I told him he needs to be careful, and watch what he's doing." And Lene was like, "Yeah, I tell him that all the time." So Bakari's sister is in town, and she has a conversation with old girl who works for Reg. And she lets Bakari's sister know that your brother is working for Reg. And what I'm peeping about her is, she, even though she works for Reg, I think she know that she working for a Whole Food. And when she was having these conversations with Bakari's sister, it came from a place of concern. Like, you need to let your brother know he needs to get up out. He needs to not have no ties with Reg. And we also got to see later on in the episode how that turns out, because Reg don't care for nobody but Reg. And I think old girl right here, I think she's starting to figure that out. And I appreciate the fact that she let Bakari's sister know, you need to talk to your brother and you need to do it real quick, before it's too late. So Lene lets Bakari know that she went up to Smokey's and he wasn't nowhere to be found. And so he was like, "So what, you following me now?" And she was like, "Do I need to?" And she was like, "Where were you?" And, he tells her a bunch of fluff. And we all know that Bakari trying to get his money up, honey, because he want his car back. He ain't got time to be walking or catching no train, okay? But Lene is just like, when is enough enough? Like, basically telling him, you need to grow up. Like, this is not it. And they exchange words. And let me say this. One thing about these young men, you cannot sit there and think that you're going to be able to talk out the side of your neck to them and basically tell them that he's not needed or necessary and expect him to sit around and just take it. So when Lene told Bakari that, she was like, "When I'm not with you, you be around here crying and running up behind me." He was like, "No, I'm not, baby." She was not expecting that answer. She was not expecting him to kind of hurt her feelings like he did. And baby, in the process of her feelings being hurt, she told him that he had to get up out of her house.
You talk all big and bad, but when I leave you, you come back crying.
Ain't nobody crying over you.
Get out.
Tiff throws this party at the cigar lounge and everybody is there, okay? And Jake, he's scrolling through his phone and he see his little new boo thing posted up with some guy. She done posted a picture on her socials with some dude. And so Jake is not feeling it. He walks over to Bakari and he telling Bakari, he was like, man, she up here posting pictures with her and some other dude. And Bakari was like, I thought y'all was feeling each other. And Bakari, he proceeds to tell Jake that, Lene threw him out the house. And Jake was like, F her, man. Like, these girls be tripping. And so Bakari, he tells Jake that maybe the girl posted a picture of her and another dude just to kind of test Jake to see where he is, because Jake really does like the girl, even though he's saying he just kind of hanging with her because she trying to help him grow his social media following. And then, later on, he does talk to the girl, and she lets Jake know, oh, that's just my ex-boyfriend. And then, she takes a picture of her and Jake and posts it on her social too. So she's just playing games with him. That's pretty much it. So, honey, the sister wives have a whole conversation, okay? Keisha and Tiff talking about Emmett and Nuck. Tiff tells Keisha that Nuck told her that he loved her and that she did not reciprocate, okay? She was like, that's just not where she is, and she wasn't able to say it to him. And, Keisha ends up telling Tiff that she's thinking about proposing to Emmett. And Tiff was like, girl, why? Why are you going to propose to him? Let him propose to you. And Keisha was like, he did, and I told him no, so I'm ready to get married now. So, Keisha was like, is that gonna be a problem? And Tiff was like, girl, y'all ain't never getting rid of me. Like, it is what it is. We stuck. Like, I got a baby by him. You got a baby by Nug. I'm with Nug. You with Emmett. It is what it is. Like, we just gonna be together forever. We ain't letting nobody come between us. So I like the fact that the two of them are pretty much on the same page as far as how they feel about each other and their friendship. So, honey, Lene and Pastor Zeke's daughter are having a conversation. I forgot her name, so we just going to refer to her as Pastor Zeke's child. Okay. So they having a conversation at the party. They smoking or whatever. And Nuck walks in. Lene sees Nuck and she was like, I can't stand that Negro. Like, I just don't see it for him. And, Pastor Zeke's daughter agrees. She was like, yeah. She said, he's something else. And Lene was like, yeah. And the girl was like, yeah, I know about what he did. And so Lene was like, what you talking about? And, the girl's like, And Lene was like, what you mean? And so the girl was like, I know Bakari told you. And Lene was like, Bakari ain't told me nothing. So she's playing it off like she don't know what old girl talk about. She's just trying to see what she's going to say. So the girl, she finally says to Lene, she's like, I know what he did. So, and Lene was like, it don't matter. She was like, because the last time I tried to bring information to Tip, ain't nothing happened. They still booed up. They still together. And so, the girl is talking about the whole situation with Rob. And Lene was like, I wish I had proof. And the girl was like, I got proof. And Lene was like, what? And she was like, not here. So, honey, Nuck's brother done spilled the tea to his girlfriend. And she got receipts. So Nuck snatches up Bakari, got him hemmed up on the wall. And Nuck was like, you working for my enemy? You working for Reg? He was like, the only reason why you alive is because of me. He's telling Bakari all this. And Bakari was like, I'm a free agent. I can do what I want to do. I need to get my money, whoop de whoop. So they exchange words. And, Tiff is like, don't do this here. Tiff is trying to intervene and break them up while Emma and everybody else is standing back. And I'm like, are you serious? All y'all men standing around watching this, but ain't nobody trying to break this up. Only Tiff. Like, come on. So, Nuck tells Tiff that Bakari working for Reg. He needs to get up out of here. And so Tiff was like, okay, you need to go. And so Bakari was like, you putting me out? And Tiff was like, yeah, it is what it is. And honey, Bakari was like, all right, bet.
Fuck both of y'all. Niggas gonna find out what you did.
I might have to kill that nigga.
Don't talk like that.
I can talk how I want.
So Patience pops up on Rashad, honey, and Shad thinks that she's there because of him going to see Nora. So, he was like, I already know why you're here. I know Nora told you I went to go see her. And Patience was like, you went to go see Nora? And he was like, yeah, I wanted to check in on her and see how she was doing. And so Patience was like, was she happy to see you? He was like, I don't know. And, she was like, well, were you happy to see her? He was like, I don't know. He was just like, I'm just telling you, ain't nothing happened. Just want to go ahead and get ahead of it. just in case she told you, like, because he ain't got nothing to hide. And, he and Patience seemed like she was just cool about it. She did let Rashad know, look, I got people watching her in her house. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Shad main thing is, how the streets are. And he was like, if she took money from somebody and then reneged on the whole deal, he kind of knows that that person is going to be coming for her. But Patience is like, we good. The situation is going to be cool. We also got to see in this episode that Patience's son is one of the young boys that Riley mentors. So I thought that was a nice turn of events that we got to actually, see her interact with her son, and who wanted to go to Smokey's Honey after he left his little meeting or whatever. But I don't know if Patience having someone watch Nora's home is going to be beneficial to Nora, because we already know, baby, if Duda wife wants something done, it's going to happen. So Bakari's sister, she goes up to Smokey's and she lets Bakari know that she wants him to come with her. She said that she is getting up out of the Chi, that her and Jenna barely hanging on, and that she's trying to pursue other avenues, and she wants Bakari to come with her. Now, this is the second time that we've heard in this episode a conversation with Bakari in it in reference to leaving, okay? What I do not want to happen is that he finally decides to get out and he gets popped. That happens so often in these shows, and I hope that this is not the outcome for Bakari. Again, I want to know where Professor Wayne at. Okay, like, where is he? Because Bakari definitely needs a talking to. Because clearly the whole meeting with Eminem, the little men's meeting, it ain't helping. So Bakari's sister lets him know. She was like, I came back because I want you to come with me. Because, Bakari was like, did you come back here just so you can leave me again? And she was like, no, I want you to come with me. And, let's just see, what other opportunities are out there for us. She don't want to leave her brother behind this time. So I really hope that him having a conversation with Jake and Papa, and now this conversation with his sister, will give him the push to get the heck up out of the Chi.
Just in case somebody takes me out, baby. Nuck kill Rob. I watched him do it. He'd kill me too if I wasn't his blood. But that don't make me safe.
Now, Nuck thinks that Bakari is going to be his problem when it comes to the information about Rob, but it looks like it might be these two. And I'm wondering how the information is going to be presented to Tiff. I'm wondering if they're going to send her the voicemail, or if they're just going to blatantly tell her indiscreetly, like, how is it going to be delivered and what is going to be Tiff's reaction once she finds out.
Hey.
Hey.
What was all that with Bakari last night?
Can't trust him.
What did he mean when he said that we were going to find out what you did?
Honey, what Crime Mob said, Nuck if you buck. Because, baby, Nuck, you about to be in a serious situation. Now, my whole thing is this. I do not want Bakari to be a casualty of Nuck's insecurities, okay? Because Nuck already has it in his head that Bakari is going to be the one to spill the tea to Tiff. And in actuality, it's probably going to come from a whole other direction, okay? And I'm also wondering how and what Tiff's response is going to be. Is it going to be immediate, or is she going to plan out her retaliation towards Nuck? Like, I'm wondering how this is going to go, because let's be clear, Nuck lives in Tiff's house. She sleeps in the same bed with him. Like, this Negro claims that he loves her, okay? And I'm wondering if a part of Tiff could not allow herself to love him because she just knew something wasn't right. Remember when they first started hanging out, and she said she, just got a vibe about, I guess because everything was so fresh with what happened with Rob, she just really couldn't put her finger on it. I'm thinking to myself, no, honey, that is your intuition telling you that this Negro right here ain't no good. You know what I'm saying? And, oh my gosh, ooh, this whole situation is messy.
Messy, messy, messy.
Like, this is not a good situation. If Tiff ends up taking Nuck out, that's gonna cause a whole conundrum between her, Keisha, and Emmett. Like, it's just so many people that are going to be affected by this. I cannot wait for Vic to find out, because we already know Vic feel away about Tiff, moving on with Nuck. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. And what I would not mind happening, even though I want Tiff to be able to avenge Rob, I wouldn't mind it if Nuck comes after Bakari, and Bakari is able to defend himself, and he ends up, popping Nuck. I would not mind that. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. And I'm ready for Reg to go too. Like, can we just get a 2-for-1? Can we get both of them out in the same episode? Like, for real, for real. And I got a feeling that either Jake gonna take Reg out, or it's gonna be that girl with the locks. Because you could tell she is really getting tired of Reg. Like, she just there for the money. I'm doing my job. But when Reg did not want her to intervene when Bakari stumped old boy out, and baby Bakari stumped him out, as he should, because he is a hater. He needs to leave Bakari alone. But you could tell she's kind of getting tired of Reg, because he just cutthroat. He feel no ways. You know what I'm saying? It's all about Reg. But that wouldn't surprise me if she ends up taking Reg out, or Jake. But anyway, the whole situation with Nuck and Tiff it just went too far. I wish it didn't go this far at all. I wish that the two of them, Tiff and Nuck, having a relationship was never even visited. Like, I wish they did not go this far, because Tiff did not deserve this. It's like, come on. But he been playing on her face this whole time. And, oh man. And if Tiff does take him out, she don't really have to let Keisha know that she the one who did it. I'm just saying, she don't. And I don't want Tiff to get locked up, because like I said, we've seen her. She's questioned her motherhood a couple of times. Am I a good mom? She let her son go stay with her mom, and now she got this new baby with Rob. Like, what if she ends up popping up and ends up getting locked up? You know what I'm saying? I don't want that to happen. And then I guess Emmett and Keisha could take her baby. I don't know. This is just crazy. Ooh. Y'all, oh Lord, y'all really got us on this one. This situation between Nuck and Tiff went extremely too far, but I cannot wait for it to come to an end. I can't wait for Tiff to find out, and we shall see. We shall see. Well, that's all I have for you guys in this video. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.